Welcome to the Unscripted Narrator. Here's where imagination knows no bounds and the realms of fiction come to life.
I walked into that funeral home on February 24, 1983, and as soon as I crossed the threshold, an old rage flared up inside me. I had come straight from the Monroe County Correctional Facility, where I was serving a sentence for handling stolen property. The prison had granted me a furlough to attend my grandfather's funeral, and at first, I was just glad to be out of that cell. But now, standing in the back of the funeral parlor, I wondered if I'd made a mistake coming here. Everyone around me was sobbing, hugging each other, murmuring things about how great of a man he was. My family, friends, everyone was lined up by the open casket, their faces contorted with grief. I couldn't feel anything but anger as I clenched my fists, my fingernails digging into my palms. Unlike everyone else, I wasn't mourning him, not a bit. To me, he was a monster. One by one, my family members stood up to say something nice about him. They called him kind and loving. I couldn't take it. The lies were deafening. Suddenly, as I stared at his body, I could have sworn I saw his lips move. For a second, I froze, staring at that face that haunted my childhood. I half expected him to sit up and say something horrible to me. But then, nothing. The casket was still, as dead as the man inside. I couldn't handle it anymore. I got up and left, feeling like I was suffocating in there. My mind was in a whirl when I arrived at my friends Bob and Jeannie Kyer's house. They were laid-back, easygoing people who wouldn't push me to talk. When I got there, they welcomed me, offering me a quiet meal. They probably thought I was grieving. Little did they know what was actually on my mind. After dinner, I went to their bathroom to splash cold water on my face, hoping to cool down. But then the strangest thing happened. The bathroom turned icy, like I was standing in a freezer. I looked up at the mirror, and for a split second, I saw a face, a wrinkled old man with a gold crown, grinning at me from the corner of the glass. I jerked back, heart pounding, but there was nothing there. Back downstairs, Bob and Jeannie noticed I was withdrawn, but they didn't pry. Soon, as we sat in silence, I heard the sound of dripping water. Then, drops began to fall from the ceiling. Confused, Bob thought a pipe had burst, so he called his landlord. But when we looked upstairs, there was no leak. Just water pouring down, seeping from the walls, pooling on the floor. And all the while, I sat there, frozen in place, watching the water spread. My hands started moving of their own accord, fingers twitching as if I were playing some strange piano in midair. By the time the police came, I was in a trance, unable to explain the bizarre smile stretching across my face. Even when I went back to my cell, I could still feel that strange, chilling presence around me, as if my grandfather had followed me there, lingering, mocking. They say I was mumbling about making it rain. I can't remember much of it. Only that, in those 2 days, I was trapped, gripped by a force I couldn't see or touch, one that seemed to leach into my very mind and soul. After that week, the haunting stopped. People thought I was possessed, and for a while, so did I. And though life went back to normal, I've never truly shaken that eerie feeling, like my grandfather left some part of himself behind, still waiting, somewhere out there.
Our tale comes to a close. We hope it has ignited your imagination and left you craving for more adventures. If you enjoyed the journey we shared today, don't forget to show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel.